The prototype rift anomaly modulator! Arcadia is saved! Maybe! Jury's still out! That device is questionable at best!
Oh, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. I was once a victim of imperfect thoughts. Oh, I had so many questions. But my questioning days are long gone. Yes. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. Questions are an unmistakable sign of worry, disquietment, and worst yet, rumination. Once the mind is a thing of symmetry, vexatious agitatements simply waft away. As every loyal and dutiful Protectorate subject knows, thinking is best left to our betters. You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean, but you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech automechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course. Though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security. How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You'll feel ever so much better once your phreноmetric peaks have been abraded.
I was sure we'd be forced to slay her. Despite her quirks, I'm pleased we managed to avoid this.
Mental refreshment really cleans out your common sense. Like an enema for your gray matter.
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in.
Stand ready. Our foes are close.
What the... A formal audit of the grounds.
No target, Commander! Wrist weapon prime!
Electrical damage.
Personally overseen by Head Director Gould, the top cognitive advisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering. The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction.
And refashions the mind into a state of symmetry.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Seems like trouble. Aborting search!
I see an enemy. Soon to be a corpse.
Say, what's that sound? Why does the wall look so soft all of a sudden?
Oh, do I detect a whiff of repriorant gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Ha! You're not a Protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Scientists of this echelon must be exposed to low doses of refreshment gas to build a resistance. Sort of like arbiters with bullets.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. My, can't believe I'm falling for that, as it may be the most unconvincing display of fealty I've ever seen. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. I believe in the strength of our ideals. I'm quite certain I'll win you over. What's more, our colloquy promises to be vastly more diverting than my usual day-to-day blather. But if I'm wrong, what would Auntie's choice or the Order or my word, you're not a scrapper? Well, none of them will know what to do with our advanced know-how. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Not word for word, no. I do take certain liberties with the Sovereign's Handbook, a beacon to the cosmos, to inhabit the spirit of the work and give it a dramatic, scientific air. I understand you meant that as an insult, but I refuse to be baited by those either jealous or ignorant of our ways. Think of it this way. If you could have the finest woolly cow filet mignon or most succulent crabble claw dinner every night, would you mind skipping candy? Don't believe you would. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. I must say that was moderately stimulating, passably interesting at a few points even, almost intriguing. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the lathe of particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your masters.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive. Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement per instructions. Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer! Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended. Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
What an edifying confabulation.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler.
Gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
Well, it took with some light instruction and a restorative...
Special charge!
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the Sovereign.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Let the Paradigm worry about tomorrow.
Stymies untorn inclinations and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of it.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Why, I'm his attendant, of course. I have seen to the Sovereign's personal needs since he was a mere, but of course vibrant and robust, infant. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today.
My Sovereign, what have they done to you? No, and certainly not the embodiment of all that is the Protectorate. This is a greater crime than all I have witnessed.
Deserves what? Whatever do you mean? We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Not at all. Why should I? One who questions betrays. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be.
I suppose there is nothing we can do at this juncture. Guard him well, Feld. I shall honor him, in health and infirmity alike. I swear it.
Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
This is the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all contented, and others are not.
Individualism in all its many forms.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities to be found throughout Arcadia, Placid Waters Wellnetarium here on Prater is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive deviser responsible for making the mental refreshment process more
Their team plays the
than
worst
ever.
anyone has ever played. The first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about me. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm. It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies
Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy.
The console provides, the system abides.
Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall.
While there are many mental refreshment facilities
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it?
Deviser responsible for making the mental refreshment process more
Right as rain,
refreshing
neighbor.
than ever.
Never more content. I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
You can't fight contentment. Of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles
You find my pitch ball?
stymies untorn inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing
Oh,
of symmetry.
commemorative pitch ball. I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system.
Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented.
This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. After you, by all means. I fear I must insist.
The cultist known as Azza has been admitted to the ship roster. Among her registered weapons is what she refers to as her disemboweling knife. This unit reminds the commander that anticoagulants are your first line of defense when injury occurs.
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent. Dead mentor, apparent cover-up, sure, I'd be mad too. But why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he got any other Protectorate hullheads to come to his aid? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Yeah, but do the rest of us deserve to be put at risk? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to keep the peace, then fine, but I still gotta maintain due diligence. You should too. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Commander.
Lovely day for a coup, dear. The only surprise about the Protectorate's consul usurping the Sovereign's authority is it did not happen sooner. May all our travails add to the equation.
By law, you've done it! I cannot lie. My math placed the odds of your survival at 0.00343%. But your reputation indicates that you reliably beat the odds. So why am I surprised? Unfortunately, I am limited in forms of compensation. However, I've refined the schematics so they may be constructed with your own rudimentary tools. I trust that you will find wonderful methods of deployment that will manipulate every equation to your favor.
I'll write my next dissertation in your honor.
You want freedom of choice. You want anti-choice.
Tronicular, arriving any moment now.
And this month's winner of Auntie's Jingle Contest DM is Factory Technician 3rd Class Dini Thirunavu Karasar, who submitted the following audio recording.
I love Auntie, yes I do. Her hair looks real, like a real...
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
Welcome to Head Office Tower. Again.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Now that's the compelling attitude we love to see in an ameliorator. Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in affecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art. Damn right. Of course. We're Auntie's choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about, it's something you feel. Or that is, convince someone to feel.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market positioning.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination. Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important? Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Oh, do tell. I hope you gathered supplemental materials and recruited the scientist as well. Really? Thought you had more drive, but suppose that's fine.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They can barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right, for your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Good. Good. If only more employees shared your dispassionate air, I'd spend less time burying workforce resources complaints. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it, but a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
Don't let us keep you.
Good luck, my ameliorator. Remember, you can't spell heinous ascetic without Auntie's choice.
Don't wait for a line to form in front of you. Availability is severely limited. Let this be the first courageous leap you make into a fresh, pioneering new career.
Make profitable choices.
Auntie's choice. Trust your auntie. Auntie, when are you going to have a sale? My dear child, every day is a sale at Auntie's choice. Yes, you heard that right. Every day is a sale.
each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who stack the deck.
Anybody even listening to this? Let me tell you stuff.
Before I forget, here, this is for you. Thank you ever so much for freeing my father. He seems good, actually. No discernible lingering ill effects. Still, singing. But I'm so grateful to hear it.
My friend from Placid Waters. Appreciate you fetching the pitch ball Millie got me. And of course, the escort out of there. Though mostly, the pitch ball. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to see Millie again. Don't know how to do anything here, but I can sing to my heart's content. You heading out? Do take care. Again, much obliged.
Glad there are people out here like you. Gives hope. Both of us, well, we're forever in your debt.
So much to learn here, you know?
Blades, bludgeons, bombs.
Thanks for the help.
Greetings again. You may have defeated me last time, but I shall rise from the ashes someday. In the meantime, you're welcome to browse my collection. In the wake of my defeat, I've taken a brief break. I'm contemplating what I might collect next. I've heard sprats are rarely born with mutations like extra toes and acid vision. Perhaps I'll start an exotic sprat farm. Then I could pit my sprats against opposing farm sprats. Battle sprats. Imagine the merchandising opportunities. Eat your heart out, Auntie Cleo. Behold.
it's you. Did you ever find Augustine? I see. Do you know where she is now? That's probably for the best, anyway. Well, before the console took over, my biggest problem there was avoiding Auntie's choice workers trying to sell me things, or get me to move to Fairfield. It was easier to avoid any random Protectorate patrols than to convince those charlatans I didn't want what they were selling. But after what happened to the Sovereign, I became frightened. Too frightened. I had to get away from there. I started working for Sub Rosa, as unbelievable as that is, even to me. It seemed my best chance to stay alive, have a place to live, people to talk to.
To see the Rift Modulator made it into your hands. I hesitate to call them the right hands. Let's just see how this all plays out.